Hi there, how you doing? Welcome to part number 4 of Club 6 on the MyCareer save here on Football Manager 2024. That is the final club, by the way. This is going to be the part of the save and the save that sees us through into FM26. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, in which we're going to be playing against two of the biggest Italian teams aside from ourselves, and hopefully not going to balls things up along the way. So, I mean, the teams that we're playing are Juventus and Roma. It's going to be difficult. Juventus is not a league game. It is the Supercoppa. However, just for context in terms of how they've been doing in recent years, that's how. They've won a couple of leagues, in fact, 3 leagues since the save has started. But considering the dominance they had down here, you'd expect a bit more from them. So, quite hopeful on that one. The 4th place team in the league at the moment, finishing, was it second, I think, last season? Something along those lines. And then Roma, who, just to be clear, won the league last season. That line there. So they're going to be tough. Currently 6th though, so not having the best season that they've ever had, but they're certainly a very good team. We just need to make sure that we don't slip up on a potential banana skin there. That one is in the league. A league which, by the way, we played 20 games, so we've gone 1 over the halfway point. Annoyingly, I think both of the AC Milan games have already happened this season, so unless we get them again in the Cups, yeah, there was one there, and then the other one ended up being here as well, so I don't quite know how that's happened. So annoyingly, we're not going to play them in league. Hopefully we get them in the Cup competition. But, yeah, I had a point there, it's gone out of my head, but these are probably the 2 biggest games we could have other than those ones. But as the league is going so far, it's a perfect record. We are 20 for 20, 60 points from 60. We've only conceded 8. We've scored 54. This is a very good team. And that, granted, it is contingent on the teams around us. It is very contingent on the teams around us. But we're doing well with what we've got. And we've got such a good team that we are starting to have players being scouted. We already know that Villain is coveted by Manchester City. Zilli is now coveted by Real Madrid and Manchester United. Real Madrid, actually, apologies, my door opened. Coveted by Real Madrid, coveted by Man United. Real Madrid have made an offer. Now you can see he's not very happy because I've rejected an offer. I'm waiting for him to come to me. They were offering a low amount. Now, actually, his value has dropped dramatically. I don't know why his value has dropped so much. He was over 100 million before. So that has dropped quite dramatically. So negatives, he wants to join Madrid. He wants to leave. Now, I made a bit of a boo-boo here. I extended his contract without talking to him. That was probably not a good move. I'm hoping that when he comes to talk to me, I can just counter-offer and say that they didn't offer enough. They didn't offer enough for what I want. I want minimum 100 million for him with how good he's been for us this season. Whether I get that or not is another matter, but that could be a bit of a problem. I mean, this is a guy who has been with us for over 230 appearances. I want to keep this guy for this season and next season to just see him through to the end of the save. I don't really want to lose any of my starting 11, including Villain, actually, who, again, in that midfield role, rating-wise isn't spectacular, but he has been exceptional for us. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a difficult one to see whether we can keep Zilli and Villain and then see whether any other dominoes fall apart from that. Takita is wanted by Roma, though, so that's good because we do want to move him on. There's a few players who are wanted by other teams. I don't really want to lose Campanella. I don't want to lose Gonçalves. Gagliardi, he's a youth player. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, anyway, that's how we're doing at the moment in the league. In terms of the Champions League, I think we've still won every single game from off my top of my head. Yes, we have. We're already guaranteed a playoff spot. We've still got a couple of games left. I'm pretty sure we're going to be going through in the top 8, probably in top number 1 of the Europa League. So we'll see how that goes. The Supercoppa has already started, by the way. It is going to be AC Milan versus whoever beats the other out of ourselves and Juventus. So let's get into that game and see what happens. And this is the 11 we're going to be going for. It is quite possibly our strongest 11. I think this is going to be what we would consider it to be. It is Urbig in goal, Trigos, Laskowski, Kabasi and Urbano in defence, Villain and Tenas in the midfield, with Gula, Zilli and Espinosa sporting Semini up front. Yes, Semini is starting as the striker today. He has, to be fair, when I have used him as striker, scored there. Sorry, got an assist there, rather. 2 goals there. Got a goal there. Didn't really do that well there. To be fair, after his injury, he kind of took a little while to get back going again. Didn't have a very long injury, but there's just enough to take him off his stride. But you can see here, playing as a winger there. I don't quite know why I played him as a winger there, but I did. But then scoring as an advanced forward there as well. So he's definitely got the ability to be a good advanced forward. So it's still a bit of a risk because he is still primarily a winger or an attacking midfielder, but he's just good enough to do the job. So, yeah, we're going to start him there today. Gula can start out on the wing. He's had mixed success since being a winger, to be completely honest with you. But he's looking okay. Did well in the last game. Well, in fact, no, played him as an advanced playmaker in the last game. It's a fine balance. There are games where you saw him as an inverted winger against PSV in his little cameo. It's a recent thing we've tried. We've tried him as a winger as well. It's one of those. I think he's going to be good there, though. But anyway, let's stop talking about it. Let's just get to it, and let's just see whether we can get the win and get through to the final of the Super Coppa. And if you're excited to see whether we can do that today and whether we can beat Roma in the league as well, don't forget, leave a big like on the video for me. Hit that subscribe button as well so you don't miss any of the content coming in the future, including FM26 content when that game drops. I'll try to get onto that as quickly as it does. It is work permitting. I just can't book the time off when I don't know when the game's early access period is going to come out. So we'll see what happens with that. Right, underway we go. I was debating starting Garba, the goalkeeper, for this. I do usually do that when it comes to cup competitions that are not Champions League. Against Juventus, I'm not doing that. I'm going with the big guns. I'm going with our full strength, full fat starting 11. Right, Verlaine looking for Espinosa. Can't quite get it through there. It does end up going back to the Juventus goalkeeper, and now we are looking to capitalise on a mistake. And Antonello Simini with his 17th of the season, possibly one of. He and Alex Zeve are probably the two best signings I've ever made. And if Simini can continue the season scoring goals in striker, it might mean we don't need to sign Alex Zeve. I still want to sign Alex Zeve, but it might mean we don't need to. To be honest, it's one of those. If we can get Alex Zeve next season, it lessens the pressure on us needing to keep Zilly. But as a homegrown player, I really don't want to lose him, because the idea that we've got a player of his quality as a homegrown player, I really do want to hang on to him, primarily because he's a good player, but also as a result of that. And I tell you what, Urbig's had to make a big boy save there. I'm not going to blame Abana for the deflection there, but his deflection really caused the problem. But Urbig did a really good job at making sure that nothing ended up going in the back of the net there. Now, Juventus are still pressing us here. They're looking to get through, but there is an offside there, which is great. We are still a 100% record for the season in every competition. I say every competition. There's only been the two up until this game, Europa League and Serie A. We are doing incredibly well. Match momentum-wise is actually switching to Juventus in this particular game, though. We are doing incredibly well, though, at just either battering teams or doing enough to just stop them from being able to pick us apart. Player rating-wise, we are definitely the better team. XG-wise and possession-wise and momentum-wise, they're definitely doing better than us, though. So they step things up in the second half. So I'm going to say that. This is obviously a rivalry. I think this is like considered the Italian derby, or something along those lines. I might not be getting the exact wording right there, but this is considered quite the big game in Italian football. So, I mean, there's quite a few of games that would be classed as really big games in Italian football, to be fair. Right, we're just going to say that to those guys. You're not being good enough. Get it together. And then for you guys, we're just going to basically encourage you to keep on going. Right, second half. Fire up. Let's go and get a second just to try and put this a bit more out of sight. Right, ball to Zilly. Zilly. Back to Kabasi. Kabasi. Looking for someone to get it to. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Kabasi's name right. The I on the end has got an accent on it, so I don't quite know what that would be. I probably should Google it. I probably will at some point. Right, Trigos to Laskowski. Laskowski. Dwelling on the ball a little bit there. Gets it back to Kabasi into Verlaine. Verlaine now. Looking to impress the Manchester City scouts. Into Espinosa, into the box for Juventus here. And Arda Güler, who wasn't having a good game up until that point, cuts inside, makes it 2-0. And we all know a 2-0 scoreline is a dangerous scoreline in real life and in Football Manager. You lead by more than one, you get into a full sense of security, but all it takes is one goal and everything goes to pot. But that was a really nicely worked goal. Really nicely worked. Went through the middle of the team, out wide to the wing. Espinosa gets a cross in. And there is Güler cutting in as an inside, not an inside forward, an inverted winger rather. And this forward group again are just on top of their game at the moment. And with the fact that we've got such good squad depth in that area is incredible to me. Obviously, we've got Charles as the other striker who, you know, I thought that was going to be a goal for them then, who is a good striker in any game other than games like this one. We just can't trust him as a striker in big games. I mean, I don't know whether we can. I've not tried it, but I don't want to try it because I don't want to lose a big game. The thing is as well, this is why I don't want to lose Zilly. If we don't have the ability to put Samini up front, or if Samini doesn't work, then in terms of a big game striker, Espinosa should be scoring there. In terms of a big game striker, it's Zilly. Zilly can play there. So I don't really want to lose him because of his versatility and flexibility. I'm going to demand a bit more from the boys. They are doing very well. It's been quite a tightly contested contest, to be fair, so far. They are doing quite well. Management-wise, though, Juventus are just all over it. What I am actually going to do is I'm going to turn get stuck in on. Let's just get our boys just trying to get a bit more of the ball. I'm also going to make some substitutions because I just realised I haven't made any yet. I'll probably pause the game is a good idea. Right, Espinosa's had a good game. I am actually going to bring him off, though, for Campanella, who's been really good recently. I'm going to take Zilly off. I'm going to bring on Gonçalves because Gonçalves is a very good winger. I mean, look at this. The star ratings barely go down when we swap them around. This is how much squad depth we've got. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to bring on Marcotta for Tenas. Tenas hasn't been bad. It's just a bit more kind of fresh energy in the midfield. And then I think I'm going to leave that for the time being. We've got 2 more substitutions to make. I might make those in the defensive areas just to try and keep that area as fresh as possible. Right. Highlight or... yeah. Highlight, corner to Juventus, danger zone, no highlight, never mind, as you were. Juventus have now gone ahead of us in shots again. They are definitely threatening here, so it's a bit of a concern, but I'm sure we've got the players to be able to deal with it. Right, Ferrer, who is, I don't know if he's permanently signed, but he was a Manchester City player at one point in this save. Looked at him a number of times, but again, it's just inconsistency was the thing that put me off of him. Right, Gula now. Out wide to Trigos. Gula has now moved into his more favoured central position. Verlaine, Laskowski. Laskowski's not going to go for one here, is he? He did, you know. He did. I should be mad at that, but that ended up being a decent attempt. Wow. Laskowski, you've got no right to be having a go at that, let alone getting as close as you did. Right, whipped in. Laskowski is there, header, but Pacino makes the save, the goalkeeper for Juventus, and it remains 2-0 into the final 10 minutes here. We can't take anything for granted. We are getting towards the end of the game. Doesn't mean a thing until that final whistle goes. Right, centre-backs are fine. I would love to take Urbano off, but we don't have, other than Gagliardi, we don't have someone who can play in that position comfortably. I don't really want to risk it at the moment when he's only a 1.5 star to 2-star player, especially in a game like this. Verlaine is tiring as well, but he has had a good game, so I'm not going to bring on Cordoba for him. So, I don't really know. I mean, we've got 2 changes left. Gula is tiring, but he has had a good game. Takita hasn't really done much this season, so bringing him on doesn't really feel like it makes sense. I mean, we could bring Charles on, just as a bit more energy up front as well. So maybe we move things around a little bit. Maybe we put Samini here. I haven't really done this before, but let's pop him as a shadow striker. Bring Charles on. I mean, it's not really, no, it's not a game to experiment. Do you know what? Charles isn't coming on. Sorry, Charles. Takita's going to come on because at the very least, we know that Takita can play here. And he does a decent job. He's not particularly good or spectacular, but he does a decent job. And I'm just thinking defensively, do we make a change? I'm thinking let's bring on Vasconcelos or Trigos. He's not going to like me for doing this because he wants to play as the wing back. We'll play him as the full back today. Let's put a bit more energy in that defence on that right-hand side. Not really been coming down the right-hand side, but just in case to get any crazy ideas towards the end of the game, it just means that they are going to run into someone who's completely fresh. It also gives us a bit more energy down that side as well. Right, Kabasi goes back to Urbig. Urbig. I think he's distributing out wide to the fullbacks today, but he's actually ended up going to the centre-back. Ball out to Gonçalves now. Gonçalves cutting inside into Samini. Back to Gonçalves. Oh, do you know what? Gonçalves just couldn't quite run with it there. It was a lovely idea from Samini. They just didn't quite get on the same length there. Vasconcelos does really well. He gets the ball, wins it back immediately as well when he gives possession away into Samini. And that should be that. Will he get checked for offside? No, it doesn't. Samini gets another goal. He's just scored he's scored 2 goals today against top opposition. I think he's a striker. I think we might have solved striker, which means Alex Eve is not coming because we don't need him. I think we've solved everything. Samini's done incredibly well today. And it's not the first goals he scored a striker as well, so I think we've solved it. Marcotta does a really, really good job of finding him here. It's this guy over here who plays him on side. And it is 2 goals for Samini. I mean, considering the match momentum that they've had, considering that they've been matching us for possession and shots and everything like that, I think we have to take this as a huge victory. Yes, it's in a cup competition, but they have got some decent players in there still. And that'll do. Really happy with that as a result. And the performance as well. And again, Samini, really happy to see him have that game too. We have a good team. We might have stumbled on. I know I've said this a couple of times already. We might have actually stumbled on and we've got a derby, 2nd of January. We can't play the Roma game now. We've got to play that, surely. We can't play the Roma game. We've got to come to that. Right. Okay. We're changing what we're doing in this video. We are going to play Roma off camera because immediately after that, I don't know why I'm looking at it in this view, but I am. So, January. It's the next game anyway. So the Roma game is already over here. It's the next game anyway. So that works beautifully. We don't need to play the Roma game off camera. We're going to play the Milan derby. In a cup final, no less. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, we are back for the Supercoppa final against AC Milan, but we do have problems, chief among which is transfer offers that have come in for 3 of our players. So, I'll go through them in probably the least important order, although I think they are all quite important. Francesco Campanella, who is a player who the club actually signed from Bologna at the beginning of the save. He's 25 now. Really good rotation option. He has had an offer in from 2 German clubs, funnily enough. Dortmund and Leipzig, neither of them are formal club. Dortmund have got the lowest offer, 23 up from 41.5 potentially, and then Leipzig are offering 46.5 to 59 potentially. The only problem is, I like his flexibility, where he can play both on the wing and as an attacking midfielder. We can always train him to play on the right-hand side as well. He's just a really solid winger, and every time he comes in, he does a good job for us. I don't want to let him go. Now, the problem is, I don't know how he feels about the offers. If I just put in here, have a quick look. I've spelt his name wrong. That would probably not help. So, he wants to go to RB Leipzig. So the problem is they have offered a good amount of money. So I don't know whether telling him I'm rejecting it for that reason is going to be a good thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait after the final before I do anything in regards to that one. Now, the next one was Villain in terms of importance, because I feel like he is definitely replaceable, but he is a very good player. Now, this is the offer that Manchester City have put in for him. I've put an asking price of 155 million. This comes up to a potential value of 85, but only 46.5 is at the moment up front. So here's what I'm doing. I'm jumping it up to that. This can come down to this, and then they're gonna have to meet this, whether they like it or not. So let me just put this up. I'm happy to counter offer this now. I mean, this might feel excessive, but at the end of the day, this is an important player to the team. So, and I don't mind if they don't end up getting him. Now, I'm actually going to go 10 million under what I've set here. In fact, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. Why am I doing that? No, let's not do that. They can pay the full whack. So that's what they're going to have to pay if they want him. Simple as that. Now, the one that I'm the most worried about is Zilli, which hasn't typed in. Let me try that again. The one that I'm most worried about is Zilli. He's linked with them. His value's gone down. They've offered, like, in terms of current budget, not very much. But overall, it's over £100 million. I would be considering around 100 million. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we can do. Because he wants to go. He wants to go. I don't want him to go, though. This is the problem. Now, the reason he wants to go is because they're a bigger club. So I don't know if there's any guarantees that we can make with him. I mean, is there anything we can... Yes, 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 yes. Oh my word, that is a game changer. Normally, when it's a bigger club thing, it's like, no, nothing's going to do anything. Right, Real Madrid, stick it. You're not having our crown jewel of our player. Not happening at all. Oh, that's made me happy. That's made me really happy. Right, we've counter-offered Villain. That's not a guarantee that I'm going to sell him. And we're going to hold off for Campanella. I'm going to just do that for the time being on those. Let's get to this game because that has made me really happy. We have made a promise, of course, but we are going to qualify because we're top of the league. We haven't dropped any points at the moment. So, oh, that's like sent me some like superpower energy that has. Oh, that's great. Oh, right. Now we just need to make good on it. Okay, this is the 11 we're going to be going for. It's basically the same 11. In fact, it is the same 11. It is going to be Urbig in goal, Trigos, Laskowski, Kubasi, and Urbano in defence, Verlaine and Tenas in the midfield with Gula, Zilli, and Espinoza supporting Semini up front. I was thinking as well, the great thing with these three is they're interchangeable. Zilli can go up front, Gula can go there, Semini can go there. We could try that at some point and just mess around with the opposition and see what happens. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but worth thinking about. Semini, for example, not really happy about playing as a striker. Do you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that one. I'm going to G everyone up. He's not very happy about playing where he's playing. I'm going to do a little bit of shenanigans because the teams have done this to me before. Gula's going there. Zilli's going up front. Semini's going out wide. They want to play shenanigans, we can play. I say that. I've had times when I've done my tactics and then I've gone to this point and the opposition team is completely different. So do you know what? Let's do that because we did see that Semini wasn't very happy. Now, I will just make sure that Zilli is an advance forward because he definitely plays better than that, better than anything when he's in that position. So we'll do that. Let's get to the game. It's a bit of a gamble. I've not really done that many times, but in fact, it hasn't changed it. Hasn't changed it at all, unless it will change it in a moment when we get to the actual game. We'll find out. They've lost 2 of their last 5 AC Milan, so they will be hoping to return to form. They definitely are not the force they once were, and on paper we are definitely the better team, but it's a derby. Anything can happen in a big derby game, so let's get to it. And we can see Zilli has now gone up front, and he is down as an advanced forward, even though it says deep line forward, so it has made the change. So hopefully that will maybe confuse their defence a bit because their centre-backs will be expecting to play against Semini. If it doesn't work, of course, we can always change it back. But Gula goes into his more favoured position as well, which is definitely a good thing. That's a poor pass from Zilli, though. Although we've made the promises, his head's still turned a little bit, maybe. I mean, he has been a little bit wasteful in possession in recent times, actually. I have noticed it. Does well to try and win the ball back there, but he does give the ball away. And now all of a sudden, we go 1-0 down. Now, this is a potential real test of this team if this goal is given. But we could also have Lady Luck smiling down on us if those hands don't go up. Lady Luck is smiling upon us. Right, we need to do better. We need to do better. I mean, yeah, 2 players offside there, so I'm not even that worried about it, to be honest with you. Right, early scare, but we have a throw-in in their half in the next highlight. Right, Semini goes back to Trigos. Trigos to Gula. Lets it run. Looking for Zilli, doesn't find him. Urbano, Espinoza looking to find someone. Can't quite make it happen, can't quite make it work. Right, Tenas into Gula. To Urbano, who has only recently come back into the team after injury, which is good because the other left back, Flammarion, he's also injured. Espinoza into Zilli. Is that offside? It's getting checked. The flag did not go up though. But Zilli, moving back to striker, has put it in the back of the net. I can't see whether the hands have gone up. It's given. There we go. And all of a sudden, that move has worked. I mean, I don't know how much it's had a part to play in that goal because I'd imagine Semini would have been able to bury it. I'm getting my words mixed up. I imagine Semini would have been able to bury that. But I don't care how we get the goal as long as we get the goal. And that makes me really happy. We lead in the Derby Cup final 1-0. Get in there, boys. I don't know where this is being played, by the way. I should have checked it. It'd be hilarious if it was playing at the San Siro. Rice. Can we add a second? More importantly, what a strike that would have. I would have applauded if that had gone in. I'm actually gutted it didn't, just for the content of the video. That would have been sensational had it gone in. Match momentum again against bigger teams. That we are letting other teams have a bit of momentum. As long as we don't let them make anything of it, I suppose that's the main thing. Right, Urbano to Zilli. Oh, Alessio Zilli. Do you know what? He's happy about staying, isn't he? What a goal that is. What a goal that is. He's doing well as a striker. He's doing well as he has had good games as a striker, to be fair, so I'm not overly surprised about it. What a goal that is. In the D, just in the D, smashes it in. Urbano with the assist as well. Urbano is back. Excellent. Right, free kick to Milan. It's 2-0. Early on 2-0 as well, which is a really dangerous score to have. 2-0 is dangerous anyway, but the earlier on you go 2-0 up, the more dangerous that score becomes, because what happens if you just lull yourself in and you've still got 60 minutes to go? What happens is you give the team plenty of time that you're playing against to actually get back into it. Urbano looking for a goal here. He's gone and found one, Daniele Urbano. What a lovely goal that is from the Italian fullback. And all of a sudden, it's 3-0. All is right with the world. Espinosa does well, gets it to Villain. Villain gets it back to Tenas. Tenas, who's the more defensive of the two, with a lovely little pass to Urbano. Urbano cuts in on his right foot as well. I believe he's left-footed. He is a left-back. Be a bit weird if he's left-back and he's right-footed. He should be a right-back in that case. Who knows, though? But I tell you what, match momentum-wise, they had a bit of momentum there, but we've been all over them. All over them. And you love to see it. I love to see it. I know that. I'm just keeping on some of these ratings. I mean, Gula's not had the best of games since moving back. I might move them around again, actually, which I know people might think it's crazy as he's got 2 goals. Only one of them has been a striker's goal. The other one was outside of the area, so I'm not too precious about it because we know he can play well as an attacking midfielder. Now, I will just go around. Anyone who's on the 6.8 or lower, I'm just going to say, you're not having the best of games, chaps. Let's maybe step it up a bit. Let's do that, and then everyone else who's maybe not on like an 8 or anything like that, in fact, we'll leave you out of it as well. We'll say that to them, and we'll leave the other guys because they're doing their jobs admirably. Right, let's just mess about with them again and move them around again. Gula goes out wide, Zilli goes in the middle, Samini goes up front. Won't make any changes, we'll just go into it with that. Right, kick-off. We're having a highlight from kick-off. This always concerns me if I'm kicking off, because I always feel like they're going to nick the ball, go up the other end and score. A 3-0 lead makes me feel less worried about that if it does happen, but we don't want it to happen as the first thing in the second half because it just means we start off on the back foot. Right, we go all about to Urbig. Urbig now, looking for the outball. Goes to Laskowski. Laskowski out wide to Trigos. I've kept him on. I was debating taking him off, but we'll see how he does in the next few, like 10 minutes in game or something like that. Right, the pass is lost by Zilli, and now all of a sudden, here come AC Milan. Laskowski does get his man. Unfortunately, it is through, but AC Milan waste the chance. It was an opportunity to AC Milan in the end, but they did end up wasting it. What is his passing ability? Because I feel like it's better than that. 15, 17, Flair 16. He shouldn't be giving the ball away quite like that, to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed with him there. Keeping an eye on Gula. I'm quite happy to bring on Gonçalves if he doesn't have a particularly good second half. I'm also quite content to move Samini. I'm quite happy to move all of them around as well if I need to. Right, Gula's dropped down to a 6.6. He's the captain, but he's coming off. Now, Samini hasn't had a particularly good game in general. I'm going to move him back to here. In fact, no, do you know what? I'm going to leave him up front. Zilli is still playing quite well. I'm going to bring on Gonçalves because Gonçalves as a winger just adds a different kind of dynamic. Trigos is coming off for Vasconcelos as well. So there are our first 2 changes in the game. It's still 3-0. We're still doing really well. And we're on to, by the way, our first piece of silverware as the Inter Milan manager. And we're only just in January, so I think it's going quite well. Right, let's see whether those changes do anything. See if Samini can get onto anything. I mean, Samini's playing against a good team, so I'm not going to be overly concerned if Samini isn't able to do the business for us today. It's one of those, you know, against a decent team, you're going to run into a defence who maybe has your number every now and then. Right, Zilli goes to Tenas. Do you know what? Zilli's passing hasn't been particularly great today. I want to have a go at him, but I can't because of the... Oh, I tell you what, Urbig. What a performance Urbig is putting in. Genuinely. I've seen that goal so many times, and Urbig is just like, nah, we're not having that, sir. We're not having that. Right, they've made a couple of changes. Ball's whipped in. Hughes, by the way, I don't know if you remember him, Dan Hughes, formerly of Wolverhampton Wanderers, came through into the first team while I was there. Really, really solid defensive option. Bit sad to see that he's left Wolves, but you know what? He's moved on to playing in a European club. I can't begrudge him the opportunity to kind of spread himself and kind of go a bit further afield just to get a bit more experience. Verlaine with a great interception there. This is why Man City want him. And now he's coming forward. Get it out wide to Espinosa. Look at the room that Gonçalves is in. No one's used him. He's been used now. What an opportunity that was. It's a corner. Wow. Okay. Samini really hasn't clicked today. I might have a bit more of a shuffle around. I might move Samini behind the striker and put Zilli back up front. Might do that in a minute. Right, AC Milan trying to break there. Right, final changes. Let's do exactly that. So we'll swap these 2 rounds. Actually, what's Semini's passing? Semini's passing 40. Yeah, well, no, we won't do that. We'll put him to a shadow striker. We will then... Can I keep Zilli on? I'm going to actually take off Espinosa. As good as he's been, Campanella deserves a bit of time out there. Urbano, I could bring on Nayar. He's just come out from injury. But you know what? Let's do that. As good a game as Urbano's had, he is tiring. And I'm looking at the two lads in the middle. I'm thinking Marcotta. But Cordoba really probably should get some football as well. I'll leave Tenas on. Cordoba will be the more dynamic of the two trying to get tackles in. So let's do that. And we'll just see if we can... Well, we should be able to see the game out. We're 3-0 up. I'll be very surprised if it all goes completely wrong here. Right. Pass from the immediately loses the ball, but actually wins it back there. Semini looking for Campanella. Can't quite find him. He's just not had it today, Semini, which is fine. You know, as good as he has been in the first half of the season, he's allowed to have a bit of a drop-off. Vasconcelos now. Nearly gives the ball away, but I tell you what, Gonçalves does really well to win the ball back. He's got Vasconcelos with him. Goes back into Cordoba. Cordoba, what a pass that is to Semini. The question is this offside? It looks offside to me. The flag did not go up, but I will love it if Semini has just scored. I will absolutely adore this game. Yeah, the hands went up. Semini's gone and scored in a cup final. Okay, he's back. There we go. As an attacking midfielder as well, again, showing the flexibility that some of these players have, which is amazing. Cordoba, ball through to Semini. It's what a pass by Cordoba, by the way. He's a centre-back defensive midfielder, and he's finding passes like that. The depth we've got in this team, genuinely, I think I've found my favourite team that I've managed in FM24. Certainly in the MyCareer save, and I loved managing Wolves. I enjoyed Arsenal. I did enjoy Bayern Munich. I didn't quite enjoy Bayern Munich as much as I thought I was going to. This might just be the team. That's probably because I've had all that money to spend. I've still got some of it left. But 4-0 in a cup final against our biggest rivals. How can you not love that? Right, Cordoba gets the ball. Back to Laskowski. Solid game from Laskowski, by the way. Both of the centre-backs have done really well, actually. And the goalkeeper. Right, Semini out wide. Whipping it in. Looking for the header, Campanella. He finds it. And Semini's gone and added an assist as well. He's not even playing as a winger. And he's just decided to go out there and play as a winger. And when he plays as a winger, he doesn't even play as a winger. He plays as an inside forward. And he's just done the job of a winger there impeccably. Anonymous most of the game, last 10 minutes, decides he wants to show up. And we've just humiliated AC Milan by 5-0 in a cup final. I don't know how important the Super Coppa is to Italian fans or even to Italian players. But it doesn't matter because we've just gone and won it. First trophy down. We don't need to worry about that trophy ever again. Job done. Absolute job done. I mean, there's some performances that weren't great. Gula went a little bit anonymous there, which is a bit disappointing, but I imagine it is going to be Gula who's going to be lifting it. Yeah, you can see someone else got their armband on. It's because Gula went off. Don't mind that. Look at me. There I am in my grey jacket. I have got a grey jacket like that, actually. But there it is. We win our first trophy of the of the season and of our time with Inter Milan. And again, I've got my little Lego trophy there just to celebrate with. Not a simple man. There we go. That is a very successful video, I think. We won against one of our kind of big Italian rivals in the semi-final, got through to a final and beat our biggest rival and utterly dominated them as well. Like, utterly dominated them. They did have more opportunities eventually in the game, but just look at the state of that. I mean, Zilli had a great game. Absolutely superb. Semini came good in the end as well. Gula was a bit disappointing. Trigos as well, but the depth we've got means that if someone doesn't play well, we can just throw someone else in. And also, the players are so good that if they're not having a good game, like Semini, you can just turn it around. In the last 10 minutes, he got a goal and an assist. He was on a 6.6 before that. Utter madness. Utter madness. Right. Well, that's that. First trophy. Excellent. It's not rated very highly. Who cares? Who cares? And actually, Zilli is the man of the match as well. Maybe we're just lucky with the fact that he's willing to give us the opportunity to qualify for the Champions League, which it looks like we're going to anyway. Right, now I need to have a think about these offers. Actually, we are going to come back to this now and have a look at it. The Borussia Dortmund offer, let's have a look at that. Now, that is negotiable, but the RB Leipzig one is not. I think we need this amount up front for me to consider it. We need it up front. So I'm actually going to reject that. Or can I, actually? Can I go to this one and put an offer in here? I'm going to reject this. We're going to put it to 40. Let's say 45. And then I'm going to be cheeky and try and get to 60. I'm going to negotiate that down, negotiate that up, 60 million, negotiate offer. Okay, I was hoping it would come up with the thing that says, put this towards all teams who put an offer in, and it hasn't done that. So, we've negotiated that one. I'm going to reject that one. Do you know what? I should have just accepted that, because it's basically, I've offered the same offer that Leipzig have to Dortmund's. It's basically the same offer. I reject both of them. I want to keep Campanella. We don't want to lose our best players. What's this? Clause 1.37 million. Yeah, go on then. Let's sell that. Anyway, that's enough for that. Let's have a look and see when we're going to come back. We have, I mean, the season's been going superbly well so far. We are going to drop points. We're going to have a draw or a loss at some point. There's no way we can maintain this. But then we have just dominated everyone. So I don't know, maybe there is. You're not going to see Roma, unfortunately. That's been and gone. But we're going to come back probably towards... Do we come towards the end of January? Or no, we'll come February at some point. When Europa League games properly start to ramp up, we'll come back in here. We'll probably have some Coppa Italia as well. But we'll come back somewhere in this period. We'll play some football. We'll see how we do. And hopefully we'll continue winning lots of football. Because I really like winning lots of football and scoring lots of goals. I'm having a lovely time. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, do not forget to leave a like on there. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content coming from FM26 when that game comes out very soon. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.